The Science of Mind magazine, the daily guides. I just left the thought for the day, but that's actually on my Prosperity Living Facebook page. I'll transfer it to all the others shortly. Take a deep breath. I need to take a deep breath. So take a deep breath. And let it out very slowly. And let's see what Mary, our writer for this month, has got to say for us, shall we? She's called this Chart Your Path One Step at a Time. If you're lying in any moment with the flow of life as it presents itself, all will unfold in the right way at the right time with a certain spontaneity and ease. And that was Tasha Silber. And Ernest Holmes said, "Today I know that intuition, which is the presence of the divine in me, will guide me aright. It will set me on the path of right action. It will direct my footsteps. It will counsel my mind." So in other words, if you are prepared to be still for a while, float the idea out as to what you want, and allow the guidance to come in, you will receive it. Today, the story that Mary uses to promote her message for the day is about her son-in-law. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. It's a Chinese name. I really don't want to make a mess of it, so I'm simply going to refer to him as her son-in-law. You know? From the age of 4, my son-in-law knew he wanted to be a pianist. He begged his parents for a piano and became so proficient that he and his mother were soon spending every weekend in the big city so that he could study with a master. At an early age, there was no doubt about his purpose in life. He would become a concert pianist and a teacher. But the road was unthinkably tragic. The Great Sichuan earthquake of 2008 took all of his belongings. If he and his mother had not been in the city for his piano lesson, they too would have perished. He was 18 then, and he was preparing to enter a prestigious music conservatory in the United States. His mother encouraged him to follow his dream despite the tragedy, and now, 17 years later, he holds a doctorate in music and is a concert pianist and an inspiring teacher to countless students. Like him, some of us know early on that we have a calling, but there are many of us whose purpose is not so clear. And this can leave us feeling stressed or inadequate. If you feel that you have not found your passion, that's okay. One step at a time, you are charting your path. There are no wrong turns. Discovering your purpose is an adventure into the very heart of yourself. And this has always been love. With a little dose of self-compassion and an open heart, you will find that everything you need is inside of you now. In other words, as we said the other day, there are no wrong turns. If you have an idea in mind as to what it is that you think is your purpose and you follow that, even if it ultimately turns out to be something else, it really doesn't matter. You know, a friend of mine who actually sometimes, well, she watches these readings quite often. I will not mention her name. You know, her dream was to become a dentist, and she was actually in dental school. But then she became allergic to some of the chemicals. I think that was the story, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But the bottom line is, she had to leave dental school. She never became a dentist. But she found her passion in other ways. She actually followed another path in medicine and she qualified. And now she's actually preparing to launch onto the world products which will do everyone good. And she's working with other people in doing this. So although she had one idea, it didn't work. And then for quite a few years, she really, I guess, was trying to come to her purpose. She was actually struggling to get over a lot of physical issues, which she did. And I won't go into the how or the why of it. But the bottom line is that deep inside her, even though one path had closed, another opened, and it turned out to be, in a way, a similar thing because it was helping people with their health. It just wasn't dental health; it was overall health. So the whole thing moved around. And I can say for myself, I fought off for years going into the ministry of some kind. And I even went through the Catholic diaconate program when I lived in Atlanta. But ultimately, because I knew I wanted to help people, ways have always opened up for me to do that. And I've done it in lots of different ways as a practitioner, then a minister, but also in lots of other ways. For instance, being part of a group in our local Chamber of Commerce that looks after nonprofits. When I was a teenager, I was involved in a group that helps a lot of people, help a lot of shut-ins. So I truly believe that if you set off with a purpose, even if that turns out not to be your ultimate purpose in life, the road will lead you to where you want best. And how do you know what's best for you? I think it's what you love doing. And if you follow that, I truly believe that if you believe that, then you will always end up in the right place at the right time. So that is my story for today. So please tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock ish. It's Saturday. Hopefully the ish is okay. Today, I got to tell you the story. We would have been back here on time for me to do this reading on time. However, we were in the local grocery store and my wife insisted on going looking at some other things. And I said, I'm going to be late. She said, well, blame me. So it's not really a question of blame. And then she said, well, you're always late anyway, so nobody's going to bother, so, and she's right. I am often late. Sometimes through no fault of my own. Hopefully, often through no fault of my own. So anyway. So Reverend Lisa, my colleague, will be online at Creative My Spiritual Center's Facebook page at 9:15 tomorrow morning. I'll be back on whatever social media you happen to see this. And there's a bunch of them out there. So later on today, I'm going to post it to different social media. So you will see it when it gets posted there. So I truly appreciate people watching. I truly appreciate all the likes. Once again, I ask everybody, please share. If you like these messages, please share them. And truly, truly, I appreciate all the support I get in doing this every day. So until, oh yes, the affirmations. I open my soul to the calling of my unique purpose. I open my soul to the calling of my unique purpose. And that applies whether you know it or not, because just using the affirmation is actually going to open up paths for you. Because the next one is, I'm always guided to the next right step. I'm always guided to the next right step. So there you are. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. I'm knowing the highest and best for each and every one of you. So until next time, namaste.